Agents of gradation, glaciers. The second agent of gradation is a well-known structure of ice known as a glacier. A glacier is a huge mass of ice that moves slowly over land. Glaciers are also known as rivers of ice. Glaciers are made of compact and recrystallized snow and hence form in areas having a permanent cover of snow and ice. A region which has such a permanent accumulation of snow is called a snow field. A good example of such a place is the polar regions as well as the high mountain ranges. There are two types of glaciers. The first type is called a continental glacier, and these glaciers are also known as ice sheets. Such glaciers are found in the polar regions such as Antarctica and Greenland. Another type of glacier is known as a valley glacier or alpine glacier. This type of glacier moves down from the summits of mountain ranges along valleys. Let's understand how these glaciers are formed. Snow accumulates in circular depressions called cirques, which have a relatively flat floor, steep slopes on three sides, and an opening on the down valley side. As more and more snow accumulates, it gets compressed and recrystallizes into a dense, grainy ice, which is called firn. When the ice layer is about 50 meters thick, ferns fuse together and form a mass of solid ice, which eventually forms what we know as a glacier. When continuous accumulation takes place, the overlying layers put pressure on the underlying layers, thereby converting the snow into glacial ice. Glacial erosion is nothing but slow movement of glaciers. At the base of the glacier, where the ice meets the bedrock on the surface of the earth, an immense pressure creates thin layers of melted water, which makes the glaciers slide. As the glacier moves over the rocks, it plows and lifts out the blocks of bedrock, scraping the rocks along the mountains, carrying along the load. Glacial erosion occurs through two processes. The first process is that of plucking. It is the process during which the melted water penetrates the cracks on the rocks and refreezes later. This, in turn, exerts a great pressure on rocks, making them to break. The second process of glacial erosion is called abrasion. When ice and its load moves along, it erodes the rock by scraping the floor as well as the side walls. Glaciers also form certain landforms. The first one is called moraine, which is a glacier that is loaded with rock debris. Moraines range from large rocks to fine dust, which gets deposited at the glacier's end, known as the spout. Another type of a landform formed by glaciers is an arete. Arates are narrow, knife-like mountain ridges formed by glacial erosion. The high peaks of these ridges are called horns. Type of landform formed by glaciers is called a hanging valley. It is formed when the spreading ice smoothens the land beneath it. This kind of a valley is formed when a tributary valley meets the main glacier. A lake formed because of the melting of glaciers is also a landform and is known as tarn. These small lakes are formed in cirques when the glaciers melt. The fourth landform formed by glaciers is a crevasse. Crevasses are deep, wedge-shaped openings or cracks found in glaciers. Crevasses are dangerous for mountain climbers, especially when they lie hidden under a layer of snow. Another landform that all of us are familiar with is an iceberg. When large pieces of ice break apart, fall and float in the sea, they are known as icebergs. While an iceberg floats on the sea, only 1/8 of it is visible above the surface of the water, which makes it very dangerous to ships. A fjord is another landform formed by glaciers. Fjords are steep-sided inlets along the coasts, where mountains are found adjacent to the sea. Glaciers are significant to us because they provide us with fresh water and have also been responsible for carving the spectacular scenery of mountains and lakes for us.